Before you know anything else about making mission rosary beads, you need to know how to make the knot. It's a simple knot, but you do have to perfect the technique, so we recommend just trying on a couple of strands of thread first until you get that down, and then once you do, you can start threading your rosaries. So it's actually been a while before I made one. It's been a while since I made one. I think it's been a couple of months. So even I feel a little out of practice. Okay, so let's pretend this is like a 65-inch thread, but we are going to take about the, this is the tool that you need, purchased from Our Lady Rosary Makers. They're down in Kentucky. And you measure off about the length of the tool to get started. And what you're going to do is cross it over. I like to stay as close to the end of the barrel as possible. You're going to wrap it once, twice, 3, 4 times. And always make sure it's to the left of that initial cross. And then you're going to thread in the opposite end of the cord through the barrel. Pull it. You want it taut. Now you're going to slide the knot off the barrel, and you have to keep the barrel intact and pull to straighten. Sometimes a random thread, a piece of cord will try to get out of place, and then you want to pull it taut like that. So we'll do it again on another. And just keep repeating this until you feel like you have the knot down. Occasionally, you will get a piece of cord that will slip over one of the others. If you catch it before you tighten the grip, you could just pull it out with like a toothpick or something else, and then just, you know, make the barrel knot again. Okay, so here we are. Stay as close to the end. Now I'm a righty, so if you're a lefty, I can't help you. I'm sorry. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opposite end through the barrel. I try to like roll it a little bit, keep it in between my fingers, and that helps kind of keep it in place until you're ready to pull it taut. And that's it. Now if you can make this knot and count to 10, you're on your way. Okay, so now I'm going to start making the rosary. I'm going to switch the felt out in between so that you can see the beads, and it's more detailed, because if I do everything on the white, you may not be able to see the work. Okay, so now moving on to making a rosary. We have this cord. Oh, shoot, I guess I should. Okay, so somebody requested this video. I don't know if I'm going to post this on the channel, but okay. All of these supplies can be purchased from Our Lady Rosary Makers down in Kentucky. And I'm part of a rosary ministry, so we've been doing this for about 5 years now. And this is the cord that we use. This is the number 9 nylon cord. This is the white. And here's a jumbo roll of the black. And we cut each strand to about 65 inches. I'd rather have a little bit more cord and a little bit of waste then get to the end of the rosary and find out you don't have enough. That's just me. All right, so we're gonna get started. I showed you how to do the, whoops, I got this all tangled up. I showed you how to do the barrel knot. So, okay. And I have the beads laid out here. All right, maybe I should expand this. Oops. I have the beads laid out here. There's about 60 beads, 59 exactly, but you have for each of the decades, 10 for each decade, 4 for the Our Fathers in between, and for the Our Fathers and Hail Marys and the cross at the end. Well, the beginning and the end. Okay, so where's my other, hold on one second. Okay, there it is. I just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm going to make a single knot to start. 2, 4. Grab the other end of my thread. Pull that through. And secure the first barrel knot. Okay, now we're going to start stringing our decades. I'll put this down so you can see what I'm doing here. And if you have a problem stringing the bead, you shouldn't have a problem stringing the beads, but occasionally some of the women like to put like a little nail polish on the end of the cord that gets threaded. Sometimes we'll use a little wax. I just like to trim it a little on the bias. Is that what it's called? I don't know. And it makes sort of like a point with it. And if it gets a little frayed, you just trim it again. I used to do the nail polish thing, but I'm impatient waiting for things to dry. And now we string a decade. And whoops. Okay, the most important thing you have to do is make sure that your count is correct, because you don't want to get to the end and find out that you left out a Hail Mary. So I usually double and triple count my beads. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I counted them before, I counted them again. And we'll count them a third time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've been doing this for years, so rarely do I make a mistake, but it does happen, and then you have to start all over again. So better, what is it they say about wood? Better to measure twice and cut once. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now when I'm making the barrel, the next barrel cord, I try to keep it as close to that decade of rosaries, but also leaving enough space that you'll be able to, count the Hail Marys as you go along in prayer. Okay, so you don't want to wind up with your knot all the way over here, because then the rosary is going to look disproportionate. So I just keep fiddling with the barrel until I get all the cords in place. And this looks, yeah, that looks good. There we go. And now you just tighten it. So we just strung off first decade. And there's enough room. See, there's enough room for counting your prayer beads. Counting your prayers as you go along. Okay, now we're gonna put on an Our Father bead. And when you string these, you want these to be nestled in between two knots. You don't want wiggle room in between them. So put the cord as close to the bead as possible. You just, at this point, you just have to hold it taut with your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make the knot. And just keep working that barrel as close, keep it close to the Our Father bead, to that prayer bead, and then you can tighten. And now we'll go on to the next decade. Okay, I'm going to stop here because you don't need to see me just repeat the process 5 times, and then I'll come back where you need to see the next step. Okay, so I strung all 5 decades, and if you do it correctly, they line up beautifully, just like so. And that's how it should look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to gather, now remember again, I'm a righty, I'm not a lefty. We're going to gather, wait, I told you it's been a while since I did this, a few months. Okay, so I'm going to gather the decades in my left hand, keeping the 2 barrels together. There's a shorter end and longer end, don't worry about that just yet. And what we're going to do is make a 3rd barrel, a 3rd knot, to connect these 2 cords. So, whoops, hold on, I'm gonna... So we're going to do the same. It's just going to be a double strand. So we make a cross, and this time I only do it once, twice after the cross, so it's really 3 times. And then you feed both of these cords into the barrel. Going to remove the tool and straighten that one big giant double cord knot. So it's going to look like this, or this. And then you're going to cut away the shorter strand. Just make sure that this is really tight before you do that. So you cut away the shorter piece. Okay, so here we are. This knot represents the Hail Holy Queen, and now we're going to string on an Our Father bead. 3 Hail Marys. Okay, now rosary is almost complete. The last Our Father bead and the cross are going to be strung together, but before I do that, I've been working with the rosary on my left side. I'm going to flip it now to my right side. It's just how I need to work. And I'm going to put on that bead and the cross together. I'm going to try to hold it. I want to make sure I'm staying in frame here. I can't see what I'm doing unless I look up at my camera here. Okay, so I'm going to pinch these two together, holding the twill in my left hand. Now we're going to make that same barrel knot. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to make that first X. Just make sure you're keeping the rosary out of the way here. 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4. Okay, can you see that? I'm just going to string that through. Oops. Pull that off. I'm going to just pull on this string just a little bit. I want to keep this barrel knot as close to the bead as possible. And you could slide the barrel with your fingers a little bit. And then secure it. And then trim carefully. I'm going to use my other scissors. And there you go. Thanks for watching.